gonna be 100. I do not remember what happened last week at all. Well, that's okay, because basically nothing happened last week. We witnessed the aftermath of a murder. So there's that. Just, you know, casually in the morning on our way to school. That's all. And then we went to our part-time job after school. And then we saw Rin standing on the top of the tallest tower. Like the princess that she is. And then, yeah, and then we went back home and we did our training, and then we went to bed at like midnight, and then we have to be up again at like 5 in this morning. Oh boy. Average day for a Japanese student. Sounds about right. So how's everybody doing today? I am kind of scatterbrained. It's been a Monday. Oh, so scatterbrained. In fact, give me 1 second. So because nobody who lives with me keeps up with my stream schedule, I have a little sign that I put on my door. I made it using a bright red post-it note, not post-it note, like a flash card, an index card, and I hang it up on my door to let people know that I'm streaming. I forgot to do that, but I did it now. It's kind of a cold one today, and it's kind of giving me a headache. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Today's a big day, though, because today is day 3. And you know what happens on day 3? We meet Saba. We also almost die at the hands of Lancer, but, you know, more importantly, we don't die. And we meet Saba. And thus begins the Fate route. I do wonder if I saved those images of the you know, what the hell am I talking about? The flowcharts, that's the word I was looking for. I do wonder if I saved the flowcharts. I don't think I did. I don't know if I even bookmarked them. I don't know. That one. Yeah, here we go. I think. No? Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. Yesterday's still Turkey Day and the resurrection of Mariah Carey. Padoru. I need a Padoru emote for the season. It's gonna happen. Yeah, we usually... My family will start doing Christmas stuff. We used to try and hold off until, like, December 1st. But as we all got older and got busy with like jobs and life and stuff, we decided that it's usually most convenient for everybody to get together on like the Saturday after Thanksgiving, because obviously Thanksgiving's always on Thursday, and then Black Friday happens on immediately the following Friday, except that the past several years it's happened starting on the Thursday, and I guess this year it already started. I missed it. It happened. But then yeah, on Saturday we'll usually try, as many of us as a family, go and get a Christmas tree for the family household. And then we'll, have it set up, and usually we'll try and find a day in December to decorate it. In recent years, that's been like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. Yeah, like I said, we got a lot going on this coming month. Between Thanksgiving, you got Thanksgiving, I've got some other family stuff going on. My birthday's also in December. Wait, don't pat the con. I don't have the thing up. There we go. Thank you, Gilgamesh. But yeah, I got a lot going on in December, so join the Discord to stay notified about my schedule and any possible potential changes to the schedule, because I might end up having to make adjustments on the fly. I don't know for sure, and I'm going to try to avoid having to do that. But if I do need to do that, best place to get notified! !Discord. Hop in there. It's good for you. I am actually going to save these images of the flowcharts. Not that I really need them for right now, but you never know. In case we get royally fricked up. It does look like there are exactly 2 options that we can pick in this night that will lead us to death. But other than that, we should be fine. There are other like options that we can take, but we don't have those unlocked yet, so I'm not worried about it. In any case, you're telling me to wait for the day of Colin breaking for a few more weeks. I do have an idea of what I want to do as far as streaming for my birthday, because there are a couple of other things going on around that time. So I've had some ideas. Nothing set in stone exactly, but I do have a couple of things in mind. Oh man. Oh, I gotta stretch. I feel like I'm crumpled. Anyway, what say we get to the gaming? Boy. Come over here and open up my book. Wait for it. There it is. Flashbang. It's story time. Everybody get comfy, make some hot chocolate or something. Woo! I made a hot chocolate before because I didn't want... It was too late in the day for a coffee. Continued. February 1st. February 2nd, even. Day 3. Long day, long night. Ah! I'm in a fire. Houses crumble and peoples burn. No matter where I go, all I see is crimson. This is what I saw 10 years ago. It's a long-forgotten memory of the past. I run through the scenery, recreating what happened. Tea is more peak. I respectfully disagree. Anytime I've ever had tea, it just tastes like hot water. Probably because I have the crappy American, watered down, crappy tea. But I prefer coffee. For warm drinks. If I'm having a cold drink, it'll be either Gamer Sups or like maybe soda on occasion. But usually it's if I want a warm drink, I'll usually go for a coffee. I know it's a nightmare, but there's no way to escape. I run and run and keep running. Every time the scene ends with me as a child running out of energy and getting rescued. I wake up feeling wrong. A hand to my forehead tells me I'm sweating, even though it's winter. No, it's late. The clock reads past 6. I hear the soft sound of chopping from the kitchen. Sakura's early again. Not really the time to be impressed by what an early riser she is. I need to hurry up and get ready so I can help her with breakfast. Shiro, what are you going to do today? It's Saturday, so do you have work in the afternoon? No, not today. I might help Issei out. Why do you ask? Oh, no reason. I was hoping you could swing by the dojo if you had nothing to do, cause I'm kind of in a bind this month. In a bind? Why? If my bank account's hurting, you see, it'd be a huge help if someone made me lunch for a while. Yeah, not happening. It's your mess. You can afford to miss a meal or two. I wasn't expecting anything from you, Shiro. The only person I can count on is Sakura. Right, Sakura? Yes. If you don't mind having what I have, I can make you something. Ah, good, good. Then let's eat lunch together today. Breakfast goes smoothly. Today's menu includes the typical sides, and the main dish is braised lotus root, konnyaku, and chicken. Sakura probably didn't need to make such an elaborate dish for breakfast, but I'm guessing she made extra to pack for lunch. Sakura is a member of the Kyudo Club, and Fujine is the club's faculty advisor. Nobody would think it was weird for the two of them to have the same lunch. Oh, by the way, Shiro, you woke up late today. Did something happen? Fujine looks my way as she sips her miso soup. As much as she's just kind of out there most of the time, she's pretty sharp about this kind of thing. Yeah, food stay night. I had a dream about the past and woke up feeling crappy. That's it. Oh, so the usual. Nothing to worry about then. It's not an interesting topic for Fujine, so she shifts the conversation in another direction. That doesn't bother me one bit. 10 years ago, I used to have nightmares a lot, back when I couldn't shake the memory of that fire. But as time went on, those nightmares grew less and less frequent, and I've gotten to the point where the dreams don't bother me anymore. I've been told my nightmares were pretty bad back then, though. Fujine was already with us by then, and she's been sensitive about changes in me since. Yeah, she's very, very older sibling coded, I think, for that. Shiro, are you hungry at all? Your dream this morning hasn't affected you, has it? Nope, I'm fine, so quit using my dreams as an excuse to try stealing my food. Aww, I'm happy to see you turned out to be such a strong boy, but I wish you'd wound up a little more gentle. Right back at you. Since I'm basically your younger brother, I kind of wish you'd ended up more delicate and sweet yourself. We both huff and turn our heads away from each other. Seeing that as a sign that I'm fine, Fujine smiles in relief. What's up, Clay? Welcome in. We're just getting started. Honestly, I appreciate her consideration. But I know she'll get an ego about it if I say it directly, so I pretend to grunt in protest instead. Sakura looks puzzled by her interaction. Soon after Fujine leaves, I lock up, and Sakura and I leave as well. Senpai, I won't be able to come help out from tonight until Monday. Will that be alright? That's fine. Besides, it's the weekend. I bet you have friends to hang out with, so don't worry about me. Oh, that's not it. It really is for personal reasons, so I'm still going to practice at the club. So if you need anything, just come to the dojo and I'll figure things out. Sakura, you sweet thing, you work too hard. And I'm not going out to go out just because it's the weekend, so, please don't get the wrong idea. What? Sakura's acting suspicious, or rather, she seems nervous. I don't know why, but it's probably just that she can't come over the weekend. Got it. I'll go to the dojo if I need anything. Yes, that would be great. Sakura sighs in relief. But the moment Sakura lowers her gaze, her expression stiffens. Senpai, your hand. Sakura is staring at my left hand. I look down and see blood trickling from it. Oh. I pull up my shirt sleeve. Yep, blood. Something smells like worms. Stop. I don't want to talk about it. Hell, I cut myself with something last night. But I don't feel any pain. It looks like there's a welt on my hand. The bruise stretches all the way from my shoulder to the back of my hand. It looks like a snake that's trying to reach my palm from the top of my shoulder. Well, it doesn't hurt. I'm sure it'll go away soon. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Okay. If you're sure, I won't worry. That's definitely a command. It runs from his shoulder? That's fucking huge. What? Huh? The sight of the blood probably made Sakura sick, since she's keeping her head down. Sakura heads to the club, while I head to the school building. The schoolyard is filled with athletic club members training. This morning is practically brimming with enthusiastic energy. Have you seen the seal for Lancer before? I think I I'm not sure. The real one? Like the one that Bezet has? I don't know for sure. Maybe I have, but I don't think, like, it doesn't spring to mind. The only ones that spring to mind to me are the ones from FGO and Tosika's one for Archer. Because that one's a pretty simple design. It's easy to remember. Something feels strange. Everything in the school is as usual. The students exercising for morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless. Sure, good, I don't mind. You can talk about it. Maybe it's just my imagination. But when I close my eyes, the mood changes drastically. The building walls feel stained, like membranes have latched onto them, and the students themselves seem like empty dolls. He can sense it too. Maybe I'm just tired. I shake my head to clear it and head onto campus. School ends early on Saturdays. Classes end in the morning, but by the time I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set. Guess it's time to go home. I pack my bag and leave the classroom. Covers his arm, shoulder to wrist. Oh, well, I thought that was, like, unique to him. I thought that because he just, like, cheated the system and got a million billion command spells. Like, I thought that was... I mean, I'm sure we'll learn more about it later in the route, but... Yeah, that I've seen. I know that. But then... Hey, you're still here, Emiya. I run into Shinji. There are a few girls behind him, making a small commotion. What's up, James? I can't believe you're still hanging around when you've got nothing to do. Oh, right. You're still kissing the student council's ass. Look at you. You get into the school's good graces even though you don't go to any clubs. I'm not helping the student council. I'm just helping the school by repairing old equipment since we all use it. Up is that way? Thanks. I get confused sometimes. But what if up was that way? Or or that way? Or maybe that way? Okay, bit over. With a sudden urge to punch someone. I don't like this guy. Yeah, no, everybody hates Shinji, and he absolutely deserves it. No one likes Shinji. Feet pics for free? No, wait a minute, wait. That's right, I forget, on our regular screen, you guys don't see my feet very often. Because I'm standing in the boat. Caught in 4K. Never gonna live this down. I'll be on VTuber wiki feed for sure now. Damn it. Alright, anyway. Ha, listen to you. Anything is given according to Emiya. Did I ever tell you how much you piss me off? I could say the same thing about you, Shinji. Yeah, don't remember. I probably wasn't listening if you did. You say that kind of stuff all the time. Genuine surprises upper body frame does not capture feet. Yeah, but a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers will use like a cropped version of not the book. A lot of YouTubers will use cropped version of the scene in OBS when they're like on the gaming scene. They use a cropped version of the VTS source. I just have toggles set up where I can move around the screen like that. So it's still full screen, so you can still see all of me. I kind of prefer it that way. That way we can kind of like do antics, and I can like and if there's like if we're playing a game that's got HUD in the bottom right corner, I can move over here, or I can move over. Oh, I can get really close, or I can even just like stand wholesale on this side, and then drop back down here. Yeah, I got the zoomies. I got the zoomies. I got the zoomies. We're zooming. Alright. But yeah, that's the way I like to do it. Makes it, I don't know if it's necessarily more convenient, but I prefer it that way. It makes it feel faster. It makes it feel a little more cohesive. At least on my end. I get it. So you're saying you'll fix anything as long as it's something that's in the school, huh? Oh no, he punched me. It's impossible to fix everything. The most I can do is take care of things. Then do me a favor. Our Kyudo club is kind of in a mess right now. We've got bowstrings lying around, and the range hasn't been cleaned recently. If you've got time on your hands, could you take care of that too? You used to be in the Kyudo club, so shouldn't you be helping us too, instead of just kissing the student council's ass all the time? That's a good emote for this situation. I hate this guy. He's so obnoxious. What? Shinji, didn't Miss Fujimura tell you to do all that? Get his ass, random schoolgirl number one. Yeah, you'll get in trouble if you don't do everything you were told. Maybe must for every situation. Yeah. I'm trying to have emotes for every situation. Make my own emotes for every situation. We'll get there eventually. It's a process. But all the shops will close if you start cleaning up now. If that guy's offering, just let him do it. That's kind of mean. Plus, an outsider can't possibly clean everything up. That might not be right. Shinji just said he's a former club member. Maybe we can let him do it. What? Man, why am I getting ganged up on out here? What the hell? The girls behind Shinji are awfully chatty. They seem to be Kyudo members, but since I don't recognize any of them, they must be the members Shinji recruited recently. I'm counting on you then. The key's in the usual place, so just go in whenever. You don't mind, right, Emiya? No, I don't mind. I've got some time on my hands, so it's no problem. Haha, thanks. So, let's go, everyone. This clown will do the boring chores for us. Don't leave me behind, Shinji. Oh, good luck with the cleaning, senpai. Doormat Shiro. Yeah. At least he's not bitter about it, I guess. He always approaches it with a positive attitude. despite literally getting stepped on. Well, not literally, but, you know. Not yet, anyway. I cleaned the Kyudo dojo without any problems, since I'm familiar with it. It's a big room, so it took a while, but it was kind of fun cleaning the place I used to spend so much time in until a year and a half ago. Midway through, I considered trying to shoot a bit, but decided not to. It would be rude to the owner of the bow. If I want to shoot, all I have to do is bring my own bow and visit. You got any attitude, positive or negative? Well, I think in a situation like this, not having a negative attitude is a positive attitude. This coming as kind of a pushover myself. I look at the time and it's way past curfew. It's a little after 7. The school gates must be closed by now, so there's no need for me to rush out. Now that I look closely, I don't remember the dojo being so dirty before. There's dirt and grime all over the place, like behind the bow rest and the club room. Well, I guess another hour or two wouldn't make much of a difference at this point. I've already started, so I might as well clean every nook and cranny. And that's lights out. The wind is starting to pick up. Oh. You guys, I just realized I didn't change the category. I just realized that I was still in just chatting. Damn it. I was trying to for ease of access for the VODs, I wanted to start, whenever we start stream, we'll be in just chatting. Whenever we start the game, we'll change to the game's own category. Because at least on Twitch, it will automatically split the VOD when that happens. But now I've messed it up. So there's that. Not a big deal. The wind is starting to pick up. It's so cold my cheeks start to sting. Fuyuki typically isn't cold at night during winter, but tonight's certainly an exception. Just notice you have a floating book in front of you. Yeah, it's the book that we're reading from. I bring up the book for whenever we're doing a reading. Yeah. My breath fogs the air with every exhale. No wonder it's darker than usual. The moon's hidden tonight. I look up and there's no light in the sky. The strong winds send the clouds speeding across the night sky. Curfew is long past and there's no sign of life in the empty school. Not so much as a sound can be heard on campus, and it seems to be covered with colder air than any place in town. The sounds of combat. I think I heard something. I do hear something. Is it coming from the schoolyard? That night under the frosty sky, I guess I just got curious about the sound that broke the hushed silence. So I headed toward the sound to investigate. I go to the schoolyard. Is that people? It looks that way, at least from a distance. It's just so damn dark. I need to get closer if I want to find out more. The sounds grow louder, more intense. I know that sound. It's clashing metal. It sounds like a fight. This is so stupid. What the hell am I thinking? I'm being stupid, obviously. Who would ever fight in a school courtyard with weapons like that? And then, it was probably a gut instinct that sensed the danger. Or maybe keeping out of sight as I approached was just a stroke of luck. Whatever the reason, I hid behind a tree big enough to conceal me, and took a closer look at the source of the sound. It's happening! There, my mind froze. I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. A man in red and a man in blue. The two of them are clad in armor so ancient it's several steps beyond old-fashioned. It's a ridiculous sight, but their rapid, deadly movements make clear that their fight is no joke. Old-fashioned armor. Shiro, have you ever picked up a history book? At a quick glance, I thought Archer had guns. That's a assassin class, Emiya. Wink. If you know, you know. I don't understand. I can't even follow their movements. They're too fast. Their movements look so surreal, my mind can't function properly. The sound of their clashing weapons is the only thing convincing me the two of them are actually fighting to the death. Right, Emiya Alter too, that's right. I mean, that's, we don't know his name yet. We don't know our Archer's, we just, don't worry about it. But there's one thing I'm sure about. They're not human. They have to be something else, in the guise of humans. My magecraft training isn't why I know this. Anyone could see that these two aren't human. To start, humans just can't move like that. Nobody should get involved with whatever this is. I deserve those bonks. I can feel their intent to kill, even from a distance. I'm going to die. My body instinctively knows before my brain kicks in that I just won't live if I stay here. My racing heart is proof of that. I sense they're living things designed only to kill. I'm morning shift the next 2 weeks. Have fun. See you soon. Good luck with that, Clay. Get some rest. Don't let me keep you up. Take care of yourself. No knife or blade would be a match for whatever they're wielding. They're clearly meant only to kill. I suddenly remember yesterday's murders. The family that fell victim is said to have been killed by a bladed weapon. Damn. I shouldn't stay and watch another second. But I can't move a muscle. I can hardly breathe. My mind is telling me to flee. But something else tells me they'll find me the second I move. More than any internal conflict, though, I'm just paralyzed. I'm more than 40 meters away from them, but I still imagine getting stabbed in the back with that spear. I can't breathe. The sounds stop. The two figures separate and stand, facing each other. Just as I'm starting to feel a sense of relief that the fight's over, another, stronger sense of malice creeps over me. What? My heart feels like it's shriveled up in my chest. The numbness in my body turns to convulsions, and I clench my teeth in an effort to compose myself. Unbelievable. Who the hell is that guy? A nauseatingly high amount of magical energy flows into the man in blue. Kiritsugu once demonstrated to me how to draw in magical energy from one's surroundings. It was a kind of magecraft so beautiful that it impressed even an apprentice mage like me. But this is different. The same way even the simple act of drinking water can look revolting if done excessively, the man in blue appears to be binge eating. The sight is so extreme that anyone with magical energy would find it repulsive. He's going to die. The man in red is dead meat. The attack will be infused with more magical energy than anyone could possibly defend against. He's going to die. That inhuman, something in the guise of a man is going to die. But can I just let this happen? That question shakes me out of my paralysis. My body is suddenly free, and I take a deep breath. Who's there? The man in blue glares in my direction. The man in blue crouches in a way that tells me one thing. I'm his new target. My legs are moving before I even have the thought of running. The rest of my body finally realizes it's time to flee for my life, and suddenly all my energy is being poured into doing exactly that. I don't remember where I ran through or how I got there, but I'm in the school building. Real genius here. I regret my own actions as I huff and puff. I should have run toward town. I gotta be the world's biggest idiot, thinking I can escape by running into an empty building. A school of all places. There must have been other, better places to hide. And what the hell convinced me I'd die if I didn't run to begin with? My chest burns from all the running. I turn around, but I don't sense anything pursuing me. The only sound is my own footsteps. I can finally stop. My feet can barely move another step. I gulp down lungfuls of air, trying to slow my heart down, and I breathe a sigh of relief. I survived. What the hell was all that? I try to recall what I saw as I catch my breath. One thing's for sure, I definitely wasn't meant to see that. Things that looked human fighting in the schoolyard at night. That's all I can really remember. But I'd seen something else out of the corner of my eye. I think there was also someone else. I can't remember what they looked like, though. Honestly, I couldn't afford to look at anything other than the two figures locked in combat. But finally... Guess our little game of hide-and-seek ends here, huh? The voice comes from right in front of me. Hey, you ran pretty far. I can't breathe. My mind goes blank. I can't think. But I know that I'm going to die. There's no way out of this. You get that, right? Don't worry. It's always like this when you're about to die. Nothing to be ashamed of. And with that, he raises his spear. Sorry, kid. You're just unlucky today. But you saw what you saw, so you gotta die. No mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. Thanks, Dad. I didn't even have time to dodge. No training I ever did prepared me for this. I knew I was going to die. I knew the spear was going to impale me, but I couldn't move. The world distorts around me. My body grows cold. Numbness creeps from my fingertips into the rest of me. I cough up blood, once. It felt like there should have been more, but it was just the one cough. That spear must have been special. My blood slows and grows stagnant. My heart just stops, all from a single strike of that spear. I can't see anything. I don't feel anything. I'm like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I stopped feeling pain long ago. The world has turned white. I'm the lone dark spot. So rather than being aware that I died, it just feels like everything around me has ceased to exist. I know this. I experienced the same thing 10 years ago. This is what dying feels like. Dead men tell no tales, but the weak dying is just the order of things. My eyes can't focus. It's a dirty thing you made me do. After what I just did, calling me a hero seems like a bad joke. I can only hear his voice. I know. I'm not complaining. At least I saw the girl's servant, so I'll head back. He sounds so irritated. Afterwards, I hear footsteps fading down the hallway. Archer, huh? I want to settle the score, but I'm in no position to ruin my master's plans. Damn. My master's a nasty one. The voice suddenly disappears. He must have jumped out the window. Afterwards, the footsteps I heard earlier stop. There's an awkward silence. Then, footsteps again. I can't hear that well anymore. Go after him, Archer. Lancer will probably go back to his master. We need to at least find out what his master looks like. I don't know who's talking. I muster up all my concentration as my mind fades, but I still can't put my finger on it. All I can hear now is the sound of my breathing. My lungs must still be functioning. I hear a loud whistling sound coming from my mouth, like a passing typhoon. I'm impressed he's not dead yet. I sense somebody peering into my face. My breathing must be loud as the person reaches their finger out to try to close my mouth. Stop. Seriously, why does it have to be you? Whoever it is, they grit their teeth, seeming troubled. The moment I hear that sound, the person touches me without hesitation. Forging and replacing an entire heart. Honestly, if this works, I should be a shoo-in for the clock tower. The voice sounds distressed. But at that moment, my fading consciousness finally flickers to nothing. Sensation returns to my body. Slowly, little by little, my bodily functions return, like dewdrops trickling down a leaf. Drip, drip. What's going on? The person hovering over me is sweating, intensely focusing on where their hands are pressed against my chest. The next thing I know, the palm over my chest grows extremely hot. It's so hot my corpse jolts and my cold, stagnated blood starts to flow again. Phew. I sense the person take a deep breath and sit down. I'm beat. I hear something fall. Well, I guess I couldn't help it. Forgive me, Father. Your daughter is just an extremely heartless person. That was it. The person mocks themselves and leaves. My heart resumes beating. And then I finally pass out. But it's not the everlasting sleep I expected. I fall into a slumber, bound to wake again. Photosensitivity warning. I wake suddenly. I feel sick and my entire body aches. Every time my heart beats, a sharp pain stabs my head. What happened? My intense headache prevents me from remembering anything. My body is cold and stiff, likely because I've been sleeping in the hallway for a long time. The only thing I can figure out is that the chest area of my uniform is torn, and my blood stains the hall floor. My head feels hazy as I get up. The spot where I'd been lying looks like a murder scene. Damn, seriously? Was my chest stabbed? I fight down a surge of nausea as I head into a nearby classroom. Staggering, I open a closet and pull out a rag and bucket. What the hell am I doing? I'm still confused. I encountered something unbelievable, that had murdered me. But here I am, still trying to clean up after myself. How stupid can I be? Damn, it's not coming out. I wipe at the floor with a rag I found. I managed to wipe off the blood despite the incredible weakness in my whole body, then gather up everything scattered around the floor and shove it in my pockets. This may be my way of hiding any evidence. I must be doing such stupid stuff because my head's all hazy. I put the rag and bucket away and stagger out of the school like a zombie. My body heats up with every step I take. It's so cold outside, yet my body seems to be on fire. Really staggering all the way back home. By the time I reach my house, the date has changed. There's nobody in the house. Sakura and even Fujine left long ago. I collapse on the floor. Lying on the floor is what lets me finally calm down a bit. I inhale deeply. My heart feels like it cracks every time my chest expands to draw air. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not that my heart is cracking. The hole in my heart was just patched up, so expanding my chest opens the wound. So I really was almost killed. That's also not true. I wasn't almost killed. I was killed. But someone saved me, and now I'm alive. I wonder who it was. I would really like to thank them. If they were in the area, it means they could be involved with the people fighting. But it still doesn't change the fact that they saved me, so I need to thank them properly one day. The moment I drop my guard, the pain returns. At the same time, nausea strikes me. I sit up to hold the nausea at bay. I place my hand on my bare chest, where the uniform is torn. I might have been saved, but my chest was, as a matter of fact, pierced. That feeling, the agony of the spear tip piercing my chest, isn't something I can easily forget. Damn. I'm going to have nightmares about this for a while. When I close my eyes, I feel the spear thrust again. I try to shake that delusion off, and I make every attempt to regain my composure. Good. I'm calming down. This must be thanks to my nightly training. My thoughts clear as I take slow, deep breaths, the fever and nausea abate a bit. We should have ads coming up any second, so we're going to take a short 3-minute break. Everybody stand up, stretch, grab a drink, whatever you got to do. I'm going to put on a hoodie. So I have a question in regards to how this all works with the spear. Go on. I don't know if I'll have an answer, but go on. It's awfully quiet. In legend, the spear is covered in barbs, so to remove it, it must be carved out. Right. It is the Geibolg is a barbed spear. It's when it is thrown into an enemy's body, the barbs will spring out, basically like thorns or veins, and work their way through the enemy's body, so that the only way to pull the spear back out is to literally carve up the flesh of the person, which, if they weren't dead from the attack, then they're certainly dead after the surgery. You're not surviving that. And I think in the myth, it will only do that when it's thrown properly. Fate turned this into the wounds being unhealable, so how do you break that effect by just making a new heart? Yeah, right. Fate changed the story to kind of fit the theme a little bit more, by making it so that wounds inflicted by the spear are unable to be healed. But I think that concept in itself is a charm. Like it's magically kind of like, if you think back to Fate Zero, when Lancer hurt Saber, and then later on when they need Saber's full strength, he like snapped his spear to break the charm. I think it's kind of like that. That it is there is a magic on it that makes it so that the wound doesn't heal, but you can circumvent that magic. It would be incredibly hard to do, which is why Reen used her entire like stockpile of her family heirloom, um, to gather up enough magical energy to do that. But I also don't know if that's like a canon answer. Like, I don't know if I'm sure there is a reason, but I don't know if that's necessarily the reason. That's from what I know. That's me piecing an answer together. I don't know. It seems plausible, I guess, that it's because it's basically it's a curse. It's a cursed wound. But I'm not sure. And now we return, and maybe we'll learn a thing or two. So, about what happened. The man in blue and the man in red. They looked human, but I know they're not. Right, yeah, modern magecraft versus true, like, magic. I don't know. They could have been ghosts of some kind. But I've never heard of ghosts having forms that allow them to interact with humans like that. And the thing was talking, which makes it a little harder to believe it was a ghost, if it had a will of its own. From what I've heard, the only spirits that possess physical bodies are the elemental types, but I thought elementals didn't look human. Well, that's not the issue here. There's a more fundamental issue. Those two were trying to kill each other. And there was a robbery and a murder at a house nearby. Eerie stuff like that has been plaguing Fuyuki lately. With all of this in mind, the only conclusion I can come to is that the situation is out of my control. If only the old man was alive right now. I guess that was kind of whiny, but I'll put it down to the patched up chest wound that still feels so raw. Idiot. I've already decided to do whatever I can, even if I don't understand what's going on. I can complain later. First of all, I need to decide whether I should get involved or not. The bell on the roof of the house rings. No matter what anyone says, this house is still a mage's house. A bounded field is set around it, and if there's ever an intruder in the area, an alarm rings. A burglar at this hour? I berate myself for my own idiocy. Of course it's not a burglar. Given the timing, right after that weird incident, there's definitely an intruder. It's no burglar. It's an assassin. They're here to take a life, not property. Because that man said so himself. You saw what you saw, so now you gotta die. The house is dead silent. That same murderous intent I felt at school creeps closer through the hushed darkness. A gulp. A chill prickles like needles along my spine. It's no illusion, and it's not my imagination. I know that the moment I leave this room, I'll be stabbed again. I desperately try to contain my scream. The instant I scream, the assassin will just leap right in and kill me. And that would just be a repeat of what happened before. I'm not prepared, and I'm going to be impaled again. My breathing grows labored as soon as that thought crosses my mind. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself for being afraid, and I'm mad that I've put myself in a situation where I'll so easily lose my life after it was saved earlier this same damn day. I grit my teeth and hold my hand tight over my wounded chest to restrain myself. I need to get used to this. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to die. That alone motivates me not to die so pathetically as last time. Am I not a mage after all? And if I can't even defend myself from this, what were my 8 years of training for? Fine. Bring it on. I'm not going to apologize over complicated things anymore. Right now, I just need to drive away whoever's here. I need to find a weapon. I may call myself a mage, but the only thing I can do is reinforce something that might work as a weapon. You need a weapon to fight, after all. There's plenty of things that might work as a weapon in the storehouse, but I'm not anywhere near there. If I leave the living room and get ambushed, I'm just going to expose myself and it'll be a repeat of what happened earlier. It won't be easy, but I've got to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be good. My opponent's weapon of choice is a spear, so a knife would be all but useless. A wooden sword would be best, but I obviously don't have one just lying around. Something around here that might be suitable as a weapon. Oh, there's only the poster Fujine left. I can't help but feel utterly dejected. But the desperation makes me all the more determined. The situation's so bad it can't really get any worse. Then all that's left for me to do is to move forward until I have no energy left. Trace on. I speak my incantation, and I inject magical energy into the rolled-up 60-centimeter poster. I try to imbue as much magical energy as I possibly can into the poster to solidify it, since it needs to work as a weapon to go up against that spear. Composition. Analyze. I focus my consciousness. Magical energy permeates the poster, as if I'm staining its fibers with my own blood. Composition. Reinforce. I feel that I've hit the end. Right before my magical energy spreads throughout the poster and spills out, I say, trace off. I cut off my connection with the poster. I tremble with excitement. The poster is hard as steel, but its weight remains the same as before. It's turned out great for a hastily improvised sword. I did it. How long has it been since my strengthening magecraft succeeded? My magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kiritsugu died, and so for it to succeed at a time like this seems ironic. Either way, now I may be able to defend myself. I at least have some discipline in swordsmanship. I grip the poster with both hands and stand in the middle of the living room. If I stay here, I'm dead, but I don't think I can make it outside the mansion either. So I just need to head to the shed and make a stronger weapon there. Just as I start trying to hype myself up, every hair on my body stands on end. I'm not sure when he got in, but the guy drops from the ceiling straight toward me. A silvery flash strikes my head from above. I can only assume he came through the ceiling, and he descends on me, meaning to skewer my head. Why, you... I roll forward in a frantic dodge. The man lands with inhuman grace as I clumsily roll out of the way. I stop myself quickly and get to my feet, makeshift sword at the ready. The guy turns lazily, looking bored. You're making this whole thing kind of a pain. I was trying to be nice, thinking it'd hurt a lot more if you saw me kill you. He shifts the spear to his other hand in a slow, fluid movement. I don't know why, but he doesn't seem as aggressive as he did at the school. Which might give me a chance at escaping him. Dog! He's the Hound of Ulster, after all. I can't believe I have to kill the same human twice. Guess the living world is a meat grinder no matter what the era. He's complaining to himself, like I'm not even here. I slowly retreat back out of the room. Only 3 more meters until I reach the window. I'll run out, then it's only about 20 meters to the shed once I reach the yard. Then I should quickly... See ya. Don't wander around anymore, kid. He says it almost absent-mindedly, like it was just an afterthought. Pain shoots up my right arm. It all happens in an instant. He thrusts his spear forward, not even giving me time to react. I should have died for a second time right there. The makeshift sword in my hand spared me that fate. He probably thought I'd just been holding a rolled-up paper. He struck as if I hadn't been holding something at all, but the reinforced paper sword deflected the attack, so it only grazed my arm. Huh. Interesting trick you got there, boy. His expression goes blank. His casual attitude from earlier vanishes entirely. He watches me now like a feral animal eyeing its prey. Like a wolf. Ah. Crap. I was clearly wrong, thinking things would be okay. This thing before me is some kind of demon, unbound my logic. I keenly realized that letting my guard down even for a second was beyond ludicrous. That's right. Desperate as things are, I should have just made a break for the window right after whatever miracle let me dodge his strike from above. I thought you were just some kid, but I can sense a bit of magical energy from you. So that's how you were alive even after I stabbed you in the heart. The end of his spear points towards me. I can't block that. There's no way I'll be able to block that swift attack. I could have at least braced myself if he had a sword, no matter how fast he might be with it. But he's holding a spear. A sword is a whole line, but a spear is only a point. How am I supposed to block a point when I can't even see how fast it moves? Fine. I'm going to have a little fun. The man drops into a lower stance. In a flash, the spear swings in sideways. I instinctively parry the blow aimed at my face. Good boy. Come on, here comes another. It's a cyclone. I'm not sure how he's moving a spear in this small room, but it traces a beautiful arc without even touching the walls. The next swing comes from the opposite side, aiming at my torso. The force of the swing bends my makeshift sword as I try to parry. Monstrous. Is that a hammer he's swinging? Damn, the numbness in my arms is telling me that they might be broken. Why, you... I instinctively swing my sword. He must be mocking me with the way he keeps flicking his spear at my sword without drawing back at all. Numbness creeps into my arms after going on the attack. My makeshift sword bends even more, and the man's spear changes trajectory slightly. You're hopeless. I gave you an opportunity, but you wasted it. Then again, I guess expecting a good fight from a mage is asking too much. He moves like this is just a game. Such confidence. He'd been letting me take a swing at him after he took a couple shots at me. I've wasted my one opportunity as nothing more than a stopgap. So he sees no point in continuing this. What a disappointment you turned out to be. Okay, time to die, kid. The man readies his spear again. Don't jump to conclusions. During that microscopic opening. Say what you want, dumbass! I don't turn back to look. I just leap backward through the window. Kinda baller, not gonna lie. My back shatters the window and I roll out into the yard. I roll a few times, spring upward, and I blindly make my next move. I twist my entire body and swing behind myself. I manage to bat the man's spear aside, and he hesitates for just an instant. I knew it. If I jumped out the window, he was going to have to chase after me, and he would catch up to me and go in for the kill before I had the chance to get up. So I expected his fatal blow and swung my sword to the side with all my might. It was a risky move. He'd have killed me if I'd been even a second late, and I'd have been just as dead if I was early, too. But knowing the incredible gap in our skill, I figured there was no way I could have been early. The only thing I had to do was get up as quickly as I could and parry the attack I knew would be coming at my back. The gamble pays off, and my swing deflects his spear. I quickly reposition myself. Now I just need to run to the shed while he's still confused. Fly. He's not holding the spear anymore now, and he's right in front of me. He turns on the spot in a roundhouse kick. Scenery goes flying by. My chest goes numb where he kicked me. I can't breathe. The biggest surprise? I'm actually flying through the air. I never thought a guy kicking me would send me into the air like a damn ball. I fall hard onto my back. I slam into a wall, the impact likely breaking my back, and slide down to the ground. I can't breathe. My vision blurs. By a stroke of luck, he's thrown me into the shed I wanted to reach. I lean against the wall, trying to rouse myself. I try to track the man through blurry eyes. He kicked me nearly 20 meters away. The guy picks up his spear and rushes straight at me. I'm going to die. There's nothing I can do now. He's going to reach me. If I don't want to die, I need to get up and parry his hit. Kazushiro doesn't have at least some skill, because even if Lancer isn't really trying, he was still able to parry a heroic spirit's attacks multiple times. True. All that training did pay off, turns out. He would absolutely be dead a second time right now. The tip of his spear surges. I can't even look back at him. My body, on the verge of collapse, practically greets the spear. Get on your feet if you're a man. Oh, dumb luck. My knees give out. I can't hold myself up. The spear goes over my head and violently impales the shed's heavy door, pushing it open. And this is my last chance. If only I could get inside the shed. There should be something I can use as a weapon. I crawl into the shed on all fours. Just then. This ends now. He launches the spear at me. Damn you! I block it. I open up the rolled up poster to create a single-use shield. The impact makes a dull sound. The poster, unrolled, probably isn't as strong. It blocks the spear, but it tears apart, returning to a normal bit of paper. The spear's impact flings me against the wall. I fall on my butt and try to get my heart beating again after it feels like it's trying to quit on me. The moment I raise my head to try to grab something to use as a weapon, it's over. Well, that last move of yours surprised me, kid. The man points his spear in front of my face. I can't do anything else now. His spear is pointed directly at my heart. I know this feeling. It's the scent of death assailing my nostrils, reminding me of the pain I felt a few hours ago. Honestly, I don't get it. You're quick-witted, but your magecraft's complete shit. You've got potential, but maybe you were just too young. I don't hear the man's voice. My attention is focused on the weapon pointed at me. Obviously. The moment he thrusts, I'm dead. What else is there to think of at this point? I doubt it, but maybe you were the seventh one. Either way, this is the end for you. His arm jerks. I wasn't able to see his movements earlier, but now I see every last one in slow motion. There's a bolt of silvery light. Excuse me. The tip seems like it's being drawn towards my heart. Blood will gush from the wound in just a second. I know this feeling. That sensation of iron piercing my body. That taste of blood that will well up in my throat. That feeling of the world around me fading. I experienced all of it earlier today. And now I'm going to have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to be the one who goes through this? Gilgamesh is not that kind of impaling. You stop that. This is bullshit. No. I can't die in vain in a place like this. I was saved. If I was saved, I can't just die like this. I need to live to fulfill my obligations. I won't be able to do that if I'm dead. The spear is still going to impale me, though. The tip will tear through my flesh, break my ribs, and bore into my heart. I'm mad. It shouldn't be so damn easy to kill people like this. I'm going to die, and it's bullshit. I'm going to die twice in a single goddamn day. Everything is fucking bullshit. I'm going to die, and I didn't even have the opportunity to be afraid of this whole goddamn mess. Why in hell? I'm not going to let myself die senselessly. To the likes of you! Yeah? Is absolutely the right word for this moment. What? Like magic. A figure appears out of a bright light shining from behind me. I can't think. All I know is that the figure is a girl. I hear a high-pitched shout. And the moment the figure appears, it pushes aside the spear pressed into my heart, and steps between me and the man without missing a beat. Are you effing kidding me? The seventh servant? He tries to regain his composure after his spear is pushed aside, as the girl brandishes something in her hand. Sparks fly. Hard metal clashes, and sparks fly again. The man stomps his foot after blocking the woman's attack. He must have realized he's at a disadvantage, because he leaps out of the storehouse with bestial agility. She must intimidate him, but she quietly turns towards me. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you've all been waiting for. The wind is strong today. The clouds slide away and the moon shines through for a brief instant. The silver moonlight shines into the shed, illuminating the girl who appears like a knight.
Mwah.
Classy. I'm speechless. And it's not because I'm confused by all the things that just happened. The girl before me is so astonishingly beautiful that I'm at a loss for words. The girl's eyes, like precious jewels, stare at me without emotion. I ask of you, are you my master? Her voice sounds so valiant. Master? I can only repeat her words back to her. I don't understand what she's saying, nor do I know who she is. All I know is that this slender, delicate-looking girl is similar to the man outside. She says nothing, continuing to look at me in silence. I don't know how to describe her. She's special. So special that I forget entirely about the man outside, even though he might attack at any moment. Time seems to have stopped. Even the fear of death I'd felt moments ago vanishes, and there is only the girl standing before me. Servant Saber, I have come in response to your summons. Master, please give me your orders. It's the second time she speaks. And the moment I hear the word master and the name Saber echoes in my ears. Pain shoots through my left hand. It's hot, like being branded by an iron. I unconsciously press the back of my left hand. Taking that as a sign, the girl silently nods her beautiful head. Henceforth, my sword creates your destiny, and our fates shall be intertwined. And thus, our contract is formed. Contract? For what? I'm still a mage in training, so I understand what those words mean. But the girl doesn't respond to my question. She simply looks away with the same grace she'd shown when she nodded. She turns toward the shed's ruined door. Outside, the man readies his spear. She moves faster than expected. The girl in knight's armor leaps out of the shed without hesitation. What? I forget about the pain I feel and I get up to follow her. She can't possibly go up against that guy. No matter how heavily armored she is, she's smaller than I am. Stop! The echoing clang drowns out my words. What? I can't believe what I'm seeing. My head really does go blank this time. Who the hell is she? The clash of swords echoes around me. The moon slips behind the clouds, and the yard grows dark once again. And within the darkness, sparks fly as steel strikes steel. Without saying a word, the spear-wielding man meets the girl who leaped from the shed. She parries his spear and knocks away his other successive attacks, driving him back with each attack. I can't believe it. This girl, Saber, is somehow overpowering the men. The battle has begun. What happened between that man and I earlier doesn't even count as a battle. A battle, that's a fight between two people, each able to kill the other. No matter the difference in ability, it can still be called a battle as long as both are able to kill the other. In that sense, these two are fighting a battle. The man attacks her, swinging his spear so quickly I can't even see his strikes. Somehow, she parries his every attack perfectly with something as she closes in on him. Damn. The man backs up slightly, clicking his tongue hatefully. He holds his spear vertically to ward off her attacks on his side. For a moment, his spear glows. His attack almost looks like it caused an explosion. The man's spear sparks, as if electrified every time whatever weapon that girl is wielding strikes it. The man and I both could tell what it is. It's furious magical energy so dense it can actually be seen. Her attacks are charged with incredible amounts of magical energy. The unbelievable amount of magical energy crackles along her opponent's weapon every time they make contact. 3 sentences in a row we addressed the unfathomably large amount of magical energy going on with Saber's sword. That hurt my brain to read. The sheer force of her attacks must be staggering. If the man's spear strikes are precise like a sniper rifle, her blows must be like the overpowering blast of a shotgun. Each of the girl's attacks bathes the yard in flickering light. And yet, that's not what's overpowering the man. Coward, why are you concealing your weapon? The man curses at the girl as he evades her unrelenting attacks. She doesn't respond other than to step up her attacks with her invisible weapon. You. The man retreats, having hardly so much as a chance to counterattack. Her weapon is invisible. Without being able to determine the weapon's range, it'd be reckless to go in for an attack. That's the trouble with an invisible weapon. But she's definitely got something in her hand. I can't make out anything of its shape or length. Maybe it's transparent to begin with. No matter how many times sparks fly from it, I never get a look at the weapon's profile. Parrying her strikes must be taking a lot out of the man. His movements aren't as sharp as they had been. It's the first sound the girl makes. She attacks all the more furiously. It's a merciless, unyielding dance of blades. The flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith striking iron. And the spear-wielding man continues defending himself as he disapprovingly clicks his tongue. Honestly, I can't help but to admire the man, even though he tried to kill me. He's able to defend himself from an invisible weapon, relying only on reading that girl's swings and footwork. But that's all he can do. When an opponent is so completely on the defense, the only thing you need to do is beat them down. The girl steps in closer. She smashes down, striking with all her might. Here comes the overhead. Don't get carried away, fool! Seeing his chance, the man disappears. Or rather, he retreats back, as if to disappear. The girl's swing cuts through the air and smashes into the ground, kicking up dust. Her massive swing, which seemed to be a fatal blow against the cornered spearman, proved easy to dodge. That fool? What the hell is she thinking? Even I could tell what happened, even at this distance. Her careful, precise attacks earlier may have worn the man down, but the tremendous swing meant to deal the finishing blow wouldn't ever touch him. The relentless attacks must have put incredible strain on the man's body as he tried to defend himself. Yet he suppressed that pain for a single moment to jump away. He knew that her last attack would determine the victor. The man jumps back several meters, then comes in to strike once again the moment his feet touch the ground. He jumps in a triangular pattern and leaps towards the girl as if revisiting his steps. The girl's sword is still embedded in the ground. It's a fatal opening. The red spear returns in less than a second. The girl twists her body around like a top, while her sword is still embedded in the ground. The whole thing happens in a matter of seconds. The man sees his mistake and tries to correct, as the girl uses this brief moment to use her whole body to attack. Both the man and the girl seem unsatisfied, though. Both struck, intending to kill. Both survived, so everything leading to this moment was in vain. The two open a bit of distance between themselves. They both just quietly stare at each other. The strain the battle inflicted on them seems to be too much. What's wrong, Lancer? Would you tarnish the name of all warriors of the spear by just standing there? If you aren't going to attack, then I will. Huh. Running to your death already? Fine by me. But let me ask you one thing first. Is your noble phantasm a sword? He phrases his question so bluntly. He glares as if trying to look through her. Who can say? It might be a battle axe, a spear, or a sword. Perhaps even a bow. Keep talking, Saber. Somehow this conversation seems to be amusing him. The man called Lancer briefly lowers his spear. It looks as if he's saying he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl seems puzzled by Lancer's move. But I know what this stance means. I remember the fight at school a few hours ago. It's the killer move that was supposed to have ended the battle. I'm going to ask you one more thing. Since this is the first time we've met, want to call it even for now? Not a bad deal, right? Your master over there looks pretty useless, and my master's a big coward who won't even show their face. Don't you think it's in both of our best interests to hold off fighting until we're in better conditions? I refuse. You will die here, Lancer. Is that so? Man, I just came here to check things out. I wasn't going to stick around once a servant appeared. The air wavers. Their surroundings appear to distort. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill creeps into the air. The same thing happened earlier. Magical energy rumbles as it forms a vortex at the tip of the spear. A noble phantasm. The girl readies her weapon and glares at her enemy. I don't need to speak up. She knows very well how dangerous the enemy is. She is the one confronting him. See ya. Your heart is mine. Your soul is mine. The beast kicks the ground. Lancer appears in front of the girl so quickly he may as well have teleported. He takes his spear and aims at her feet. Even to me, that seems like a poor choice. I can't see any way an attack would be effective with the spear pointed at the ground in front of her feet. Apparently thinking the same, the girl leaps over the spear toward Lancer, intent on striking him down. But at that moment, his words alone radiate immense magical energy. He said the thing! The spear, released from below, angles towards the girl's heart. Her body hangs in the air. The blow sends her flying in a wide arc. She smashes heavily into the ground. Well, if it isn't the baby girl himself. Hold on. Got his ass. Get perceived. How goes it? It goes good. It's happening. We summoned Saber. We're fighting. We're fighting Lancer. He just used his noble phantasm. It's the best. It's so exciting. And very quiet. Does that mean somebody's gonna die? Who's to say, except everybody who watched the anime from 2006 onward. The tension. It's palpable. You could cut it with like a sword or something. Saber, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Anyway. She's bleeding. She'd been unscathed until now, but her heart is pierced, and she's bleeding profusely. A curse? Or a reversal of fate? I'm just as bewildered, but watching from afar may have given me a better perspective on how bizarre the attack was. The spear had been aimed at her feet, I'm sure at that. But then it just changed direction, moving and stretching impossibly to pierce the girl's heart. And yet, the spear itself neither stretched nor changed direction. It seemed, bizarrely, as if the spear had been thrust into her chest from the beginning, almost naturally. It wasn't as simple as the spear changing its trajectory and piercing the heart. The spear didn't change course. It altered truth itself to make that happen. The moment he spoke those words and released his spear, the intent of piercing her heart had been realized. Essentially, his attack reversed cause and effect. The result of the attack, piercing the victim's heart, is predetermined, so the spear's trajectory is merely an afterthought to establish the facts. It's a demonic splinter that breaks through all defenses. The moment it determines the target, the spear pierces the heart every time it's used, without exception. How can anyone defend against such a completely insane attack? No matter what effort the target makes to evade, the spear will always pierce their heart, which makes it fatal. An accursed spear that always pierces the opponent when used. However, the girl evades by a hairbreadth. The spear did penetrate her, but it didn't hit anything vital. Her actions in evading the spear seemed even more impossible than the spear itself. The moment the spear was thrust, the girl turned and reversed direction with an incredible effort of will and strength, as if she knew what was going to happen. Stop, it's not that kind of penetration. Stop it. That's lewd. She was either incredibly lucky, or had just enough protection to dampen the spear's curse. Whatever it is, the girl manages to avoid the fatal blow, and so survives Lancer's ultimate attack. The girl tries to get her labored breathing under control. Although she had been losing a lot of it, blood stops seeping from her wound, and even the wound itself is closing up. So this is what a truly extraordinary person can do. I knew she wasn't normal, but she is more than outstanding. In terms of her skills in the fight against Lancer, in terms of the incredible amount of magical energy used for every attack, her body recovering on its own, she is obviously superior to Lancer. But that's only up until now. She may be healing even now, but her wounds are deep. If Lancer attacks now, she won't be able to defend herself. And yet, even though he's at an overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He audibly grinds his teeth. And he glares at the girl. How the hell did you evade my fatal gay bulk, Saber? His voice seems to rumble up from the ground itself. Did you say gay bulk? So, you're Ireland's child of light. Lancer's expression darkens. His hostility dissipates, and he clicks his tongue in annoyance. Damn, I screwed that up. If I pull this move out, it's really gotta be fatal. Sometimes being famous is a bit of a pain, you know. The oppressive mood lightens. Lancer no longer seems to have any intent of attacking the wounded girl. He turns his back as he walks to the corner of the yard. Now that my identity's been revealed, the usual servant rules say we should fight to the death. But like I said, my master is a coward. They're even telling me to retreat since my spear failed. Are you running away, Lancer? Yeah. Follow if you like, Saber. Just know that if you do, I'll kill you. He lightly bounces off the ground. It's a wonder how agile he can still be, but Lancer jumps effortlessly over the fence and disappears before anyone can stop him. My favorite line in this VN is when Rin says to Shiro, "Our meeting seems to have been fate. Stay the night here where it's safe." I'm pretty sure that's not a real line. And then Nasu said, "Wait a minute, that's brilliant." Fate, stay, night. Anyway. Wait, Lancer! The injured young girl turns and starts running in pursuit. You've got to be kidding me! I cross the yard as fast as I can. If I don't stop her, she'll go after him and maybe get herself killed. It turns out I don't need to chase after her. She tries to jump over the wall, but the moment she crouches to jump, she doubles over and grabs her chest. I hurry over to check on her. Well, I'd intended to just approach and call out to her, but that went right out the window the moment I got near her. She is completely unbelievable. The shining silver armor she wears looks extremely heavy. The clothing she's wearing, dated as it is a bright, vivid blue. I've never seen anything like it. No, her clothes are not what really enthralls me. She's absolutely beautiful. Her golden hair, illuminated by the moonlight, is extremely fine as spun gold. Her face is graceful with a trace of innocence, and her smooth white skin all but glows in the moonlight. Shiro is absolutely smitten. I'm speechless. Her beauty completely takes my breath away. How'd this happen? Seeing a girl wounded in a fight made me absolutely furious. As I stand there gawking, the girl remains silent, her hand clamped over her chest. I manage to quit staring pretty quickly. She lifts her head and lets her hand fall from her chest, her pain seeming to have eased. She looks directly at me. I don't know quite how to respond to that gaze, but then I notice something. Your wounds gone? The spear missed her heart, but it did pierce her chest. Yet there's no outward sign of a wound. I've heard there's a kind of healing magecraft, but she didn't seem to use anything like that. That must mean she can heal herself no matter how wounded she is. My mind switches gears. I shouldn't be gawking at her. This girl is unbelievable, and I absolutely should not let my guard down around her until I know who she is and what's going on. Who the hell are you? I take half a step back as I ask the question. What do you mean? I am Saber, a servant. You are the one who called me here, so you needn't ask. Saber? Servant? Yes, so please address me as Saber. She says it so casually. There's a touch of contempt in her tone, but it remains mostly gentle, and hearing her voice makes my head go blank. What? Why the hell am I getting agitated? I see. That's a weird name. I cover my burning face with a hand and respond stupidly, but I honestly don't know what else to say. Besides, how else would she respond when I just ask her what the hell she is? And it'd be rude for me not to respond. This is the third stream of Fate and Saber's just showing up? No, this is the fourth stream of Fate and Saber is just showing up. Remember, we did the prologue first. I'm Shiro. My name is Shiro Emiya, and I live here. There's something wrong with me. I'm saying the dumbest things. But, well, she did give me her name. It's only polite that I give mine. I know I'm confused, but it's still important to remain rational, no matter who I'm dealing with. The girl, Saber, just keeps watching me in my confusion. She moves not an inch. Forget all that. That's not what I was asking. It's that... I know very well that you are not a typical master. Yet you are still my master. As long as we have formed a contract, I will not betray you. You need not be on your guard around me. Crap. I hear her, but I couldn't be more lost. The only thing standing out to me is that she keeps referring to me as Master. You got it wrong. My name's not Master. Very well, then I will call you Shiro. Yes, I like that better. The moment she said my name, I thought my face might actually burst into flames. Isn't it a bit more normal to call someone by their last name when you first meet? Wait, why would you choose to address me that... Ouch. A strange sensation tingles through my left hand. It's hot. The back of my hand is burning. A strange pattern appears on the back of my left hand, like a tattoo. What? Those are called command spells, Shiro. They are 3 spells which command a servant's obedience. They are a master's very life, so please use them carefully. On you? Shiro, please heal me. Her tone is cold now. It seems she's not focused on me, but something elsewhere. Wait, are you asking me? Sorry, but I don't know how to use complicated magecraft like that. And you're already healed anyway. Saber frowns. I feel like I've said something that disappoints her. Then I shall face them as is. My regeneration has only repaired the superficial damage, but one more battle shouldn't affect me. One more battle? What do you mean? There are 2 enemies outside. From what I can sense, I am sure I can defeat them in a few seconds. Saber leaps over the wall effortlessly. Just like Lancer, she makes it look easy. And now, I'm just alone in the yard. Enemies outside? I realize what she means as soon as I say it. Wait, are you going to keep fighting? I move without thinking. I run as fast as I can toward the gate. I reach the gate, unlock it with trembling fingers, and jump out. Saber, are you here? I strain to see in the darkness. Clouds have completely obscured the moon, leaving it pitch dark. Now, of all times. But I hear something nearby. There. I run to an empty pathway. It happens all in an instant. I see a familiar man in red and Saber fighting. Saber rushes him and breaks through his guard in a single sweep. She easily cuts the man in red. Saber raises her arm, ready to... But before she's able to take his head, incredibly powerful magecraft causes him to vanish. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes right at the person standing behind the man in red, and effortlessly negates the potent magecraft they'd unleashed. What? I knew she was strong, but this is unreal. That was a sort of intervention magecraft way beyond anything I'm capable of. My old man might have been able to cast something with a bit of weight to it, But I'm not sure even a first-rate mage could just cast something so powerful at the drop of a hat like that. Even so, a saber nullifies the magecraft as if it were nothing. This is a rather unfortunate time to have more ads, but we're going to take another short break here. We knew this chapter would be jam-packed, so I guess that's kind of on me. Whose thighs are though? Damn. I have a bucket of fish to command seals. Alright, that one took me a second. That was pretty good. I have a bucket of fish to command seals. Great. That's great. Everybody stretch. Stand up if you're so inclined. Ouch. My spine. What do you mean? Do as I say. It's for your own good. I haven't commented on it yet, but the music, phenomenal. Like, every track so far has been kind of fucking crazy. Why are you dead? Gotta lay down on the floor. Get all that spine decompressed. Yeah, this track was ominous. The track that played when Lancer attacked Shiro in the house. That was crazy. The track that played when Archer and Lancer were fighting. Just all the music is just really, it's really cool. Scored to perfection. We're almost there, another 30 seconds. Ads will be over, and we can continue. Alright. And we return to the story. The enemy must be a mage, which means this match's outcome is decided. The mage's attack doesn't work on Saber, and Saber drives at them mercilessly. The mage falls backward with a thud. The enemy miraculously dodges Saber's attack, but they can't move anymore. I thrown into ad jail right after you read my message, but before you responded to it. I said it took me a second, but then I got it. Saber corners the enemy and levels her invisible sword at them. My mind freezes. Maybe it's a momentary glimmer of moonlight. But I see then that Saber is attacking a human. I can't tell who it is specifically, but the image of Saber killing someone, their blood staining her hands, suddenly fills my mind. Saber moves in. She's going to slit open their throat with that invisible sword. Saber, stop! I scream as loud as I can. Her blade stops cold. It's probably best for my sanity that I can't see her sword. But the tip of that invisible sword isn't wet with her opponent's blood just yet. Stop! I beg of you, Saber. I glare at her as I speak. If I'm going to stop her, I need to prepare myself to give everything I've got to do so. Why are you stopping me, Shiro? She is Archer's master. I must put an end to her here and now. No, Saber has absolutely no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I told her to, but she still holds a sword at the ready. I'm telling you, wait! You keep calling me master, but I still don't understand what's going on. If you're going to address me that way, then it wouldn't be right to explain yourself first? Then wouldn't it be right to explain yourself first? Saber doesn't answer. She just stands there, staring at me. We're going about this wrong, Saber. I don't even know who you are, but I'll listen if you tell me, so please don't do this. Saber is silent. She still holds her sword to her opponent and stares at me, her lips downturned in dissatisfaction. What do you mean, don't do this? Is this an expression of your idealistic belief that people should not needlessly harm another? Don't needlessly harm another. Well, yeah, it's better to avoid conflict as much as possible, but I'm not so soft-hearted as to feel sorry for someone who's attacking me. So you are saying that nobody should take the life of another, even should they be an enemy, correct? I will not obey such an order. One's enemies must be defeated. If you still wish to stop me, then use your command spell to order me. Huh? I'm talking about you. A girl shouldn't go swinging swords around, especially if she's already hurt. Oh, wait. I don't even know if that's a sword to begin with. Anyway, you shouldn't be doing this. In that moment, Saber's mouth falls open in stunned silence. I don't know how much time passes with her just standing there like that. So I'm wondering when Saber here is going to lower her sword. The person who'd fallen to the ground speaks up out of nowhere. Saber instinctively grips her sword. Give it up. I would never lower my sword in the face of an enemy. Even though your master is telling you to? Is that so? I didn't know servants, especially sabers, defied their masters. Saber grits her teeth. But she lowers her sword, loosening her grip a bit. She must have put her sword away or something, because she seems suddenly much less hostile. Okay, so I can stand up now, right? Whoever it was that's been on the ground finally stands. They act brazen as they pat the dirt from their bottom. Wait a minute. That's... You're Tosaka? Yes. Good evening, Emiya. Rin Tosaka replies with the biggest smile on her face. This is unbelievable. I don't know what to think anymore. The way she greets me so casually makes me question whether everything that happened was even real. Well, so you were the one who cast that magecraft earlier, which makes you... a mage. Well, we're pretty much the same, so I guess there's no sense in hiding it anymore. Hearing her be so blunt about it makes me seem like the idiot here. Anyway, let's talk inside. I bet you have no clue what's going on, right, Emiya? As she says that, she walks towards the front entrance to my house. Wait, Tosaka, what the hell are you thinking? At that moment, when Tosaka turns around, her smile has changed into something completely different. Don't be silly. I'm thinking about a lot of things, and that's why I'm offering to talk. Emiya, I know you're surprised by all the things that just happened, but sometimes you just have to accept certain things or you'll wind up dead. This, by the way, is one of those times. Pick your poison, T, A, or S. What's the S? Personality? She glares at me, and I can see actual animosity in her eyes. I'm glad you understand. Now, let's get inside. You horny? Me horny? No! T, A, or S. I don't know what... I don't know what... I don't know what those letters stand for. Tosaka, Artoria, or Okay, alright, okay. I thought it was Tosaka something or Saber is what you meant. Okay, alright, I'm caught up. My bad, my bad. I was like, who the hell is A supposed to be? Yeah, we haven't gotten her true name yet. She seems really pissed. Well, I don't blame her. Just a moment ago, she had a sword pointed at her, and she was about to die. Avenger. Which Avenger? But still, maybe it's my imagination, but I think the Tosaka at school and the one I see right now are completely different people. And this is just weird as hell. Rin Tosaka, the most popular girl in school, the girl I admire, is walking in front of me, while a blonde girl named Saber, who calls herself a servant, is silently following behind me. Dante's? Hell yeah. The hallway feels like it's in a different dimension. I can't stay a coward forever. I may still be in training, but I'm still a mage. Tosaka, who is apparently a fellow mage, is as bold as brass. So I have to hold my ground too, or else I'll look stupid. Though I can't really think of anything all that significant here. Like Saber still following me. She keeps calling me master, and we formed some sort of contract, which probably makes her a kind of familiar. Or Gorgon, yes. Space Ishtar, without saying. Jalter, yeah. Who else? I don't know, there's a bunch of Avengers. I kind of just like everyone in the Avengers class. I've heard a familiar is an assistant mages use. Most mages transfer a part of their own body into something else, then use it as their double. But typically they're small animals. Things like cats and dogs are just easier to control. Some mages do use humans, but to do that, they need an incredible amount of magical energy to constantly feed into the human to control them. Doing that would require a mage to use over half of their own magical energy just to sustain the familiar through. The familiar, though. So it's not exactly efficient. Familiars are supposed to be tools to help mages, which is why they usually use small animals who can be controlled with minimal effort, and so aren't any burden. At least that's what I was taught. What up, PA? Welcome in. I mean, what's up, fucking exhausted? I'm Conla. Get dunked on, get dunked on, get turned around, get dunked on. Is something the matter, Shiro? No, nothing. Saber obviously looks human, and she's clearly superior to her master. That is me. I don't have enough magical energy to restrain someone, let alone the magic circuits to control familiars in the first place. Which means Saber is nothing like a familiar. She called herself a servant. I don't know what she is, but that man named Lancer and the man in red Tosaka has in tow are probably all the same. Which means Tosaka can also be called a master. I've already seen enough of her magecraft skills. I'm less than a fledgling, but based on what I've seen, Tosaka is probably worth 3 mages, though there's really not much sense comparing any mage to someone like me, who can only do strengthening. What's clear is that Rin Tosaka is an exceptional mage. In spiritually strong lands, there are more mage family lines which oversee a given area. The Emiya family came during Kiritsugu's generation, so our family is essentially outsiders. That's why I didn't know Tosaka came from a family of mages, and I don't think Tosaka knew I came from one either. There are several mages in this town I don't know about. If that Lancer guy is another mage's familiar too, that means I've gotten myself in the middle of some sort of fight between mages. Wow, this place is roomier than I expected. And the Japanese style of this room is very unique. Oh, Emiya, is this a sitting room? I should really just stop thinking for now. Now's the time to pay attention to what Tosaka has to say. I turn on the lights. It's already past 1 in the morning. Oh, it's so cold here. Hey, all the windows are broken. It's not my fault. That Lancer guy attacked me. I didn't really have time to worry about windows. I see. So you were fighting that guy all by yourself until you summoned Saber. I'd say I was more of a punching bag than an opponent, really. Huh. So you don't try to act all tough. I see. So you really are exactly as I thought. I don't know what's so amusing to her, but Tosaka walks over to the broken window. Tosaka picks up a broken piece of glass. She stares at it for a second. She cuts her fingertip and lets a single drop of blood fall onto the window. What kind of magecraft is that? The shattered window begins to reassemble itself, returning to its original undamaged state in mere seconds. She casted Mending. Tosaka, what did you just do? Just a little demonstration. It's not really a fit thank you for saving me back there, but I figure I should at least be gracious. Well, I'm sure you would have fixed it without my help, since doing it this way is just a waste of magical energy. I know you could have just replaced the windows, but I'd rather not talk in the cold. She says all of this like it's a normal thing. Her skills are just beyond my comprehension. That's amazing, Tosaka. I can't do anything like that, so I appreciate you fixing it. What? You can't do this? No, that can't be right. Handling glass is one of the most basic skills. Fixing broken glass is like an entrance exam for any school. Who's gonna tell her? Is it now? I only know what my old man taught me, so I don't really know what you consider the basics. Tosaka stops abruptly. Crap, sounds like I said something I shouldn't have. Wait a minute. Are you telling me you're not even a full-fledged mage with his own workshop to manage? Huh? I don't have a workshop. Well, actually I have the shed I use for training, but I think calling that a workshop would just make Tosaka angrier. Wait, don't tell me. Do you not know how to handle the 5 great elements or make a magical path? Um... I just nod. Oh, that's terrifying. Beautiful as she is, she gets intense when she goes quiet. So you're what, a complete amateur? Not exactly, no. I can at least do some strengthening, Matrat. Strengthening. Kind of a useless skill if you ask me. You don't know anything else? Tosaka just stares at me. Honestly, probably not. Her stare is so intense I can't help but be vague in my answer. I just don't get how the likes of him would end up summoning Saber. She sighs, disappointed. I don't much care for that. It's not like I've been playing around here. Sure, I'm not a full-fledged mage, but that's not the issue here. Fine, what's done is done, so there's no sense complaining now. More importantly, I owe you and need to pay you back. Tosaka takes a breath. Perhaps it was divine intervention. Perhaps it was, dare I say it, fate? We have fun here. So let's begin. Let me start by asking, do you really not know anything about the position you're in here? Yes. I nod. I knew it. It was pretty obvious, but I just wanted to check. It would be a waste of time if I explain all of this to someone who knew everything. Like a bit of extra mental flab. That was a really weird way to put that, but I feel like if I get smart with her, she'll smack me. Let me get straight to the point. Emiya, you've been selected as a master. You see those sacred marks on your hand? They vary from person to person, but they're typically on the back of your hand or arm, and there should be the 3 strokes of command spells engraved there. They're the mark that proves you are a master. Back of my hand. Oh, you mean this? Right. Take good care of it, since those are spells that control servants. They're called command spells, and as long as you have them, you can give orders to your servant. What do you mean, as long as I have them? Command spells are absolute orders. You might have already figured out that servants have free will, but those engravings in your hand will overrule their will and force them to obey. There's no need to chant any kind of incantation. They activate when you think about using them. But each time you use one, you'll lose a stroke. So try to keep yourself to using only 2. Anyway, just be careful. I'm pretty sure you'll die the moment you run out of command spells. I'm gonna die? Yeah? Masters defeating masters is pretty much how a Holy Grail war goes. And the master who defeats the other 6 is rewarded with the Holy Grail. What? Hold on a second. I don't understand what the hell Tosaka's saying. Masters defeating masters? And then they're granted the Holy Grail? And is the Holy Grail the Holy Grail? Still don't get it? Look, basically you've been dragged into a game. It's called the Holy Grail War, and it's a battle between 7 masters. It's a fight between mages that won't end until only one master remains. Tosaka talks about this like it's the most normal thing in the world. Everything she says swirls around in my head. I was chosen as a master. Tosaka claims to be a master. Familiars called servants. And the Holy Grail War. A battle to the death between 7 mages. Okay, wait. What the hell are you talking about? I understand your confusion, but I'm only telling you the truth here. And I'm sure you understand deep down that you're in no position to run away from all this, since you've nearly been killed by a servant not once, but twice. That... true. That Lancer guy did nearly kill me. Oh, right. You weren't almost killed. You were killed. I'm impressed you managed to come back from that. I'd say more than twice. Yeah. Tosaka's comment is the final nail in the coffin. She's absolutely right. That guy killed me. I died. There was no chance for him to talk me. There was no chance for me to talk him out of it, nor convince him otherwise, and I was only there to die. That's why. Me backing out of this incomprehensible death match doesn't mean the others will do the same. Get it? Okay, I'm going to tell you a bit more. I don't know why there's a Holy Grail War in the first place. But what I do know is that every few decades, 7 masters are selected and they are given servants. I'm also one of the chosen masters. That's why I formed a contract with a servant, and you formed one with Saber. Think of a servant as a familiar given to you by the Holy Grail, to use to win the Holy Grail War. And as masters, we need to work with our servants to get rid of the other masters. Tosaka explains things matter-of-factly, but it feels totally unreal to me. But one thing she mentioned does raise a question. Wait, you say Saber's a familiar, but I don't think she is. Familiars are usually cats or birds. Sure, there are some folks who use ghosts, but Saber has a physical body. Plus, she doesn't look like a familiar to me. I glance over at Saber. She's been quiet the whole time. Saber looks completely human to me. I don't know who she is, but she looks to be a girl about the same age as me. A familiar... Well, servants might be in that category, but they're on a different level. See, that girl over there is a ghost liner, considered to be one of the strongest of all familiars. What's up, Kage? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. If you don't know me, my name is Conla Redleaf, aka Conla the Kingslayer, the Wandering Wolf Boy Warrior. Awoo! And today, it's Mythos Monday. Unfortunately, you just missed the big epic climactic battle. Well, not climactic. The big epic inciting battle between Saber and Lancer. But you're just in time for some more lore dumping. So welcome in. Enjoy your stay. Let me get you a shout out really quick, Kage. There you go. Yeah, you have to check out the VOD. It's good. I like it. I love. It's so much fun. Anyway, Raiders, if you need to take care of some post-stream business, grab yourself a bite to eat, take a shower, take a nap, whatever it is. Don't let me hold you up. But if you're sticking around, get comfy. It's canonically February 4th in game because we've just passed midnight, so cozy up with a warm drink and a blankie. A ghost liner? So does that mean she really is a ghost? The spirit of a human, someone who died long ago. The residual thoughts of a person of exceptional ability, who remains in this world even after their death. but that doesn't make sense. Ghosts don't possess a physical body. Ghosts can only hurt other ghosts. So how could I, who possesses a body, be killed by a spirit? A ghost. Well, they are similar, but Saber will kill you if you keep thinking like that. Servants are incarnated heroes of the past, so they're a kind of spirit well beyond humans. Incarnated heroes of the past? That's right. Whether they're from history or the modern world, these spirits of dead, legendary heroes are summoned and materialized here. Well, the role of the Master is to just summon them, and the Holy Grail is what helps with the materialization. There's no way a mere mage could give spirits form, so we need to rely on a powerful artifact. Wait a minute, are you saying that a hero from the past is... what? I look at Saber. So she's a hero of the past, too? Well, sure, nobody in the modern era would dress like her, but still. But that's impossible. I've never heard of magecraft like that. Of course not. This isn't magecraft. Just think of this as a phenomenon brought up by the Holy Grail. Otherwise, there's no way a soul could be recreated and actualized. A recreation of a soul. Does that mean these servants are different than phantoms? Nope. Once something, whether that be humans, an animal, or even machinery, achieves something great, they are removed from the cycle of reincarnation and sublimated into something with a higher rank. Didn't you even learn about that? That's what heroic spirits are. Put another way, they're kind of like pseudo-gods, who are all worshipped in some way or another. Seances, mediums, and other common magecraft that deals with spirits just borrows some of the spirit's powers to perform miracles. But servants are heroic spirits themselves, used as familiars. That's why they typically accompany you in spirit form, but materialize when it's time to fight if they're needed. So they can switch between spirit form and being corporeal. I don't see your servant right now, so does that mean he's in spirit form right now? No. He's healing his wound in my compound summoning circle right now. Remember, Saber wounded him earlier. If I'd made him withdraw even a heartbeat later, that blow would have annihilated him. Listen, only servants in spirit form can defeat other servants in spirit form. We can attack them when they're materialized, so we might be able to defeat them like that. But you've noticed all the servants are monstrously strong, right? That's why we should leave the monsters to deal with the monsters, while masters hang back and serve as support. Tosaka's explanation ticks me off. I don't know what the other servants are like, but calling servants monsters doesn't feel like a fair description of Saber. Anyway, humans who become masters use their summoned servant to defeat the other masters. Did you at least get that much? In theory, yeah, but I'm still not convinced. First of all, what kind of sick mind thought to do this in the first place? That I don't know, nor could I answer even if I did. That sort of question should go to the person overseeing the Holy Grail War. The only thing I can tell you is that you really don't have any choice but to fight, and to use your servant well, because they're powerful. As Tosaka says that, she turns to Saber. Saber, after talking to Emiya, it seems like you're not in your complete form. You're incomplete since you were summoned by an apprentice mage who has no idea what it means to be a master. Yes, you are correct that I am not in my complete form. Shiro does not have enough magical energy to fully materialize me, which means reverting to spirit form and replenishing magical energy are difficult. I'm surprised. Your situation's worse than I expected, and I didn't think you'd be so honest with me about it. I was actually just kind of subtly trying to find out your weakness. I am reluctant to reveal my weakness to an enemy, but I also do not think I can deceive you. There's no point in hiding our situation from you. As such, we are better off if you know our circumstances, and give Shiro a better understanding of the situation. Exactly. How very insightful of you. I still can't believe it. If only I was Saber's master, I would have as good as won this thing. Tosaka, are you saying I'm not fit to be her master? Obviously not, you freaking sham. Holy shit. Whoa. Anyone with a heart might have softened that blow a bit. What? Do you have more questions? But she doesn't realize how hurtful her words are. My image of her as the perfect honor student at school slowly crumbles. Issei sure was right about her. She's fiendishly relentless. Okay, now that we're at a good spot, let's get going. Tosaka announces this curtly, but it's kind of weird. What? Go? Where? I told you. We're going to see the guy who knows all about the game. The Holy Grail War you got roped into. You want to know why it happens, right? Yeah, of course. But where are we going? It's already late, and if it's too far... It's fine. He's just in the next town over, and we can get back home before dawn. Plus, tomorrow's Sunday, so it doesn't matter if we're up late. That's not the issue here. So much has happened today, and I'm utterly exhausted. I just want to rest and organize my thoughts. What, you don't want to go? Fine by me, but what about you, Saber? For some reason, Tosaka's asking for Saber's opinion. Wait, Saber's got nothing to do with this. Don't push her. Oh, already acting like a master, are we? You don't like me talking to Saber? That's not it. It's just that if everything you said about this whole thing is true, then that would mean Saber's a hero from the past. That means she wouldn't know anything about the modern era. That's why... Shiro, you are incorrect. Servants can adapt to any time as long as they are summoned in the human world. So I am very aware of this age. You are? Really? Of course. This is not the first time I've been summoned to this age. I'm missing a period. What? Seriously? What are the odds? Oh hey, Tosaka's surprised too. That must mean what Saber said is at least somewhat unusual. Shiro, I agree with her. You lack knowledge as a master. As your contracted servant, I would prefer that you be stronger. Saber silently stares at me. The look on her face tells me she's saying this for my sake, not for her own safety. Fine. Guess I have to go, don't I? So where is this place, Osaka? We can still get back here from there, right? Of course we can. Our destination is Kotomine Church, just in the next town. That's where the sham priest, the one who oversees this whole battle, lives. Tosaka flashes a mischievous grin. It's the look of someone who's enjoying teasing me since I have no clue what's going on. At least, that's what I think. I'm starting to believe Tosaka has a really nasty side. We walk through town at night. It's 1 in the morning, and there's nobody out at this hour. The houses are dark, and the sleepy town is cast only in the streetlight's pale glow. Hey, Tosaka, are you planning on walking to the next town? Of course. Trains and buses aren't running right now. Sometimes a nighttime stroll is kind of nice. Okay, but I just want to make sure. Do you know how long that walk will take? About an hour, right? If it gets too late, we can just grab a taxi on our way back. I don't have that kind of money, and my point is more about whether it's safe for a girl to walk around at this hour. You know it's been dangerous recently. I don't want to be responsible if something happens to you. Don't worry, nobody's going to mess with us. You might have forgotten, but Saber here is really strong. Oh, now that she mentions it, if anyone picks a fight with Saber, they're dead for sure. Rin, what did Shiro mean by what he said earlier? I did not quite understand. Eh? He, really misunderstood the situation. Also, he's an idiot. He was trying to say he'd swoop in to our rescue if someone assaulted us. That cannot be right. Shiro is my master. Our roles would be reversed if he did that. Yeah, he's probably not thinking about anything like that. Like he doesn't care what mages and servants are. Honestly, I'd like to see what's going on in his head. Look at her smug face. Look at her, she's crying, laughing at me. She's. God, I love her so much. Tosaka and Saber seem to be on good enough terms to chat now. Saber's been quiet ever since I stopped her from leaving the house as she was. She flatly refused to take off her armor, so I made her wear a raincoat, and she's been quiet ever since. Now she's just following me, and only speaks to Tosaka. Huh? Where are you going, Emiya? That's the wrong way. We need to go to the bridge, right? Shortcut. I feel a little awkward walking right beside her, so I walk a little faster and took the side path. We enter a park along the riverside. All we need to do is cross the bridge to reach Shinto. I didn't know there was a path here. I see. We just need to head to the park since the bridge is accessible from the park too. Maybe it's the park at night. Tosaka, as she stands there staring up at the bridge, looks prettier than when I see her at school. This isn't good. Let's just go. We didn't come here to goof off. I remind Tosaka to hurry and start climbing the stairs. Once we reach the road at the side of the bridge, it's just a straight shot to Shinto. There is nobody on the bridge. Not surprising, since this bridge isn't exactly busy even during the day. People tend to take the bus or train to get to the next town, so the pedestrian bridge doesn't see much use. It's a pretty good distance, and the bridge itself seems a little unsteady, so people might worry it could collapse at any time. Probably why this isn't a very popular spot for dates, even though the location and ambience are perfect. What's in your head, Shiro? Stop thinking about such stupid crap. Saber follows silently while Rin walks beside me. I hurry across the bridge as fast as I can and try not to think too much about two girls with me. Once we cross the bridge, Tosaka leads us to the suburbs. The office buildings near the station only come to mind when I think of Shinto, but there's still a traditional townscape on the outskirts. The suburbs are especially prominent in that sense. There are gentle slopes and a hill that overlooks the ocean. The further up the hill you go, the fewer buildings there are, and there's even a foreigner's cemetery built along the hillside. The church is up at the top of the hill. Have you never been? Nope, never. Though I do know it used to be an orphanage. I see. If this is your first time, you might want to brace yourself. The church's priest isn't exactly the easiest man to deal with. I look up and see a shadow that must be a building on top of the hill. A church atop a hill. I never imagined a circumstance like this is what would bring me to God's house. Whoa, this is amazing. The church is magnificent. The whole hilltop seems to be church grounds, and I'm greeted by a huge open space the moment I reach the top of the hill. The church at the other side of the vast open space isn't all that big, but it seems to loom over everything, intimidating any visitors. Shiro, I will stay behind. Why? We came all this way. I can't just leave you here. My purpose was not to visit the church, but to protect you along the way. If your destination is the church, then you will not stray far from it, so I will wait here for you to return. Saber is frank in her response. I can't see her budging at this point, so I decide to respect her decision. Alright, then I'll be back. Yes, and do not let your guard down, no matter who you are dealing with, Master. Chet? Chet, I think it's time to stop for tonight. I had forgotten exactly how long day 3 of Fate's Stay Night was, because it's been a while since I've watched the anime. But so many things happen in like one night. We are like, we're probably like 60% of the way through, maybe 70. There's still another huge set piece that's going to happen after the big lore dump. So I think in everyone's best interest, we're gonna go ahead and call it here for tonight, because I can't keep going for several hours. It's going to take at least one more hour. I can foresee probably 2, maybe more than 2, and I can't keep going for that long. So we're gonna go ahead and call it here. Next time will be chapter 3 or day 3 part 2, even though it's technically day 4. It's I don't know, man. It's confusing. Anyway, let's find somebody to raid for tonight, shall we? Oh, man. How about... we're gonna rate somebody that I haven't watched in a long time. But he's a cool guy, and he's into Kingdom Hearts. We're raiding Stickman Sham. He's a cool guy. He's playing some Metaphor Refantasio right now. That's a game that I actually haven't touched even the demo of. But I used to watch Sham pretty regularly. Not so much anymore. But he's still a cool guy, and he still has good taste in games and memes. He also played... Y'all know that Piglet game that's been going around recently? Everybody's been talking about Piglet's big game. He played that shit on stream like 2 years ago. That's where I first heard about it. Shit's wild. It's a small world. Anyway, copying the raid message. There. And I'm gonna grab a bite to eat and get a little rest. And I will see you guys tomorrow early at 3 p.m. instead of 6 for more Twilight Princess. We're gonna try and finish the game tomorrow. And then after that, we got our very exciting Zenless Zone Zero sponsored stream. So, until then, be nice, have fun, raid Leaf, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye. Bye-bye.